Clean the window. Clean the foggy window.
Here.
Whoa!
We're here.
Hi!
What's going on, beer lovers? Welcome to another episode. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we're reviewing a beer from Three Weavers. This is called Return of Sassy. It says 7.2% Rye IPA. And just looking at the can got me really excited, because who doesn't love unicorns and pink and fancy sassy colors? And I will point out, this can art was designed by Nick from Beyond the Ale on Instagram. He designs can art for a lot of big breweries in Southern California, including my favorite, Noble, and this is no different. I mean, this is just really awesome. Little unicorn horns, and I don't know if that's like a blue rainbow or what coming out of the Celtic knot there, but regardless, I saw Rye IPA, I saw Sassy, I saw a unicorn on it. It had to be drank, so Jacob, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's have some beer. All right, guys, the beer is poured. Let's go ahead and go in for the aroma.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on.
Sweet, tropical. Well, sassy is an appropriate term for this. It's super, super sweet on the nose.
Wow, yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting that. It's also way lighter than I thought it was going to be. Normally, Rye IPA, I do think of
be more brown.
darker, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much rye they put in this. I imagine they didn't want to put too much, because if any of you have brewed anything with rye, it is sticky.
Sticky icky.
Not fun.
Yeah, it's a mess.
But it tastes nice, so that's why you do it.
Yeah, by the way, guys, Three Weavers brewed this in collaboration with Devin Randall. Anyways, this smells incredible. Let's dig in and give it a try.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh.
Wow.
This was nothing like what I thought it was. Man.
I mean, to be honest with you, same here. I mean, the name, it matches the name perfectly, but I'm sitting there thinking Rye IPA,
yeah.
thinking a little bit more bold, a little bit more bitter. This is like sweet. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's surprisingly sweet. There is, on the nose, kind of reminds me of cotton candy, which is exactly what the label reminds me
Yeah.
of. I wouldn't say it tastes like cotton candy. It's not that sweet. There's definitely a nice, kind of piney bitterness at the end. I like that.
Yeah, it hits like, I feel like it hits right after you swallow. You start getting that bitterness.
Yeah, it's way on the back end.
Yeah.
That whole retronasal, after you swallow it, that smell kind of comes up and you get. It's a thing. It's science.
It is science.
Pure science. It's happening in your mouth right now. This is a nice beer. It's not necessarily like, oh my god, blowing my mind, but it's like such a nice, delightful surprise.
Yeah.
That I would probably gladly, like, if I had this on tap, I'd probably have two. Like, just because that first one would be such a, whoa, what the, like a fun adventure that I didn't see coming.
It's like adventure time.
It's so whimsical.
It's so whimsical. I also want to point out, the lacing on this is fantastic. The color of this is beautiful. I know Jacob touched on it earlier. Typically a Rye IPA, I feel like it's definitely a darker color to it, closer to like a brown than this bright yellow. I mean, this is really yellow. Like, it looks like like a dehydrated pea yellow. That's that's what it looks like.
For description.
Yes, I know. Or maybe just a lot of apple juice. I don't know.
Sure. One thing I'll note is, like we've mentioned before, sometimes double IPAs can be too big. This is 7.2, still a single IPA, and I feel like they hit it just right. I would not want this beer any bigger than it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. This is a good spot, and they did it well. And so I have to just mention that because thank you for not making this any bigger.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I totally agree with Jacob. I mean, it drinks like a 7.2, I would say. It's not like it's drinking like a session beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the point that Jacob's making is, even if they could keep it tasting like a 7.2, you wouldn't want it at a higher ABV, because this is something that you'd want maybe 2, possibly 3 of. And once you get into that 8% realm, it's kind of like, unless you plan on getting ripped. But this isn't a get ripped beer. This is a very much so enjoy on a hot summer day, you know, at a fair. Oh my God, dude. Orange County Fair, if they had this on draft walking around during the day, that would be awesome.
Just right by the ponies.
or the cotton candy stand. Oh man. But okay, so let's go ahead and get into scoring. When it comes to aroma, I'll go ahead and start. I'm actually going to give it a 9. You saw Jacob's reaction, you saw my reaction, and to be honest with you, it was quite a surprise. I was expecting a lot more of that like gritty rye aroma, a little bit of that like sweet malt aroma. This was more like cotton candy. It was kind of tropical, like sweet sugar, like you were about to dig into some candy. It was quite a shock, but in a good way. I mean, and it jumps out of the glass. I mean, as soon as I poured it, I was like, oh, I already smell it. I don't even have to hold my nose up to the glass. But then when you do, it's a pleasant surprise. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. Jacob, how about you?
You know, I have to agree. I'm gonna give it a 9. It's a really nice beer to smell, and that's always something that I like to reward. When your food or liquid beverage smells inviting, that's just only good for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this smells inviting.
There you go. Well, when it comes to flavor, man, that's a tough one. I guess I'll have to take another sip. You know what? I think I'm gonna give it a 10.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think the reason why is because when I saw Rye IPA on the can, like I wouldn't say that Rye IPAs are kind of the like my wheelhouse. That's getting into a different territory than I typically enjoy. So I wasn't sure how this was gonna pan out. And in the world of hazy beers, like I don't know, I was sitting there going, man, I'm amazed that this isn't a hazy beer. I knew I was gonna like it though, because it's Three Weavers. They only put out good beers, to be honest with you. But to me, it was a pleasant surprise. I didn't expect what was gonna come out of the can, and when I drank it, it was just beautiful body. The malts really accompany the hops really well. It's sweet, not overly sweet, and it finishes with just a beautiful bitterness that doesn't stay on your tongue too long, but it reminds you that it's an IPA. So, I mean, like Jacob said earlier, I would, if I saw this on tap somewhere, or like if I went to the fair, I would love to have this. So yeah, I gotta give it a 10, man. How about you?
I'm kind of right in between 8 and 9 for me. It's a really solid beer. It's probably one of the better rye IPAs that I've had in quite a while, but once again, just like Jeff, rye typically isn't in my wheelhouse. It's not, if I see a list of beers on tap, your rye IPA is probably going to be really low on my priority, and that's just my preference. You know, rye can offer a nice, twist, and I think for this beer it is doing that. But I'll be honest, I would probably like it without the rye even more. But I would gladly have 2 of these. Now that I've had it, I would order it again. But it's a surprise.
There you go. Well, that leads into the question: would we ever buy it again? And I mean, for me, I feel like the answer is pretty clear. Yes, this is one of those situational beers. Probably not something I would keep my fridge stocked with. But it is something where if I saw it on tap, I think I'd be like, oh man, Return of Sassy. Love that beer. And then I go ahead and order one. Especially now, Southern California, summer has arrived. It's arrived a little early, actually.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of beers I like to drink on a hot summer day, so good timing. Good timing. How about you, Jacob?
You can't tell from the camera, but Jeff and I are both already in shorts.
Yeah, we're both wearing shorts.
It's just that time of the year already. And this is hitting the spot. Like I said, I'm not at all what I expected from a Rye IPA, but I'm really enjoying it. So as I drink a little bit more of this, the bitterness is building on my palate, but it's not overwhelming, and it's something that I could do a whole other glass of. So, I mean, yeah, I've got to recommend it.
There you go, guys. So that's our review of Return of Sassy from Three Weavers in collaboration with Devin Randall. Fantastic beer. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you've tried this beer before. Let us know what your thoughts are. Were we on? Were we off? And yeah, until then, we'll see you next time on Let's Have Some Beer. Cheers.